life, to look at life, to question life, to enhance life, to find out, what does this life really mean? What is it about? What is it I need to know about this life? And so today, I talk about that evolution is simply the process of us becoming more aware. That's really a very simple statement, and yet it's a very deep, very powerful question that we can spend hours and hours and hours on when we talk about, what does it mean to humanly evolve? What does it mean to become more aware? What does it mean? What do we do to become more aware? That's a really good question. What do we do to become more aware? Now think about it. Do you ever become fully aware? I don't think so. I think that's almost impossible. Think about this. If you're the observer, are you observing every one of the 50 plus trillion cells of your body? Are you observing them changing? Are you observing them doing what they do? Think about that. You've got 50 plus trillion cells in your body. Wow. I don't know if we can keep track of 10 cells and what they're doing. Can you focus simply on your heart and feel your heart beating? Can you just keep your focus on the heart pushing blood through your body? Chances are no, because our ego mind just moves us around. It's always do. It's got ADD supercharged. And so our job is, how do we become more aware? How do we realize that all of this body temple, all of this ego temple is not who we are, but they're things that we use to experience life? So I believe that our evolution, which is evolution of our awareness, is something we never get to. But if we make just a little bit of a gain, we have an incredibly expansive experience of life. I think it's just that little bit of a gain increases the view through which we get to see life. Because our view right now, I'll venture to say that our view right now is very, very, very narrow. How much of the day do you think you're aware? And if you tell me 5%, I'm going to laugh at you. I don't think it's that. Maybe 0.5 of 1%. Maybe. I don't know. I'm just putting things out there. I'm just asking questions. The question I ask is, what do you think? How aware are you? I don't know. I can only speak for myself. And as much as I try, I find that most of the time I'm unaware. And people will say, well, Lee, what can I do? Here's what I can do. This is one of the places I think we can start. I think we can start is that when we feel a negative emotion, and we all know what negative emotions are, right? Anxiety, despair, depression, anger, greed, yada, yada, yada. As soon as we feel it, be aware enough to pause. Be enough aware to pause. If you pause, you're not reacting. You're taking the power away from the reptilian brain and moving it into the front neocortex, where conscious decision happens. Nikki says Wim Hof breathing definitely helps awareness of our heart beating and blood pumping. Just finished AM beach session. She goes, thanks for introducing me to Wim. The reason I introduce people to Wim is because I love Wim. I found that his breathing technique really enhanced my life. Shariel's out there saying my life experiences are causing me to grow. They're causing you to grow if you're aware. If you're aware, your experiences can cause you to grow. Here's the key thing. When you get that growth, can you maintain that awareness and keep that level of growth? Or do we forget and regress backward? Have you ever seen that happen in your life? Have you ever seen that happen in someone else's life? Oh my God, yeah. You'll see someone and they'll say the most stupid thing and they'll apologize and they'll say, hey, I'm sorry, I learned from that. A couple of days later, they do the same stupid thing. And stupid's a judgment. I'm just just telling you that I understand that I just made a judgment there. But they said, I'm not going to do that thing again, but they do that thing again. How aware are they? It's a really good question. And it's not that we're bad if we're not aware. It's just part of the process of evolution. It's just part of the process of evolution. If you have a partner, if you have a life partner, how aware are you when you're with them? Are you really aware, or is it all unconscious habits playing out? Is your awareness in something else when you're with them? Here's a great question. When you're making love to your life partner, are you aware that you're connecting in oneness with them, or is your mind every other place in the world? Don't answer that question. But I'll bet you it's not always on that partner. The mind is an incredible thing. And to tame the mind is a very, very, very difficult job. And Lee, you're saying it's difficult. Yeah, it is. It takes a lot of work. I talk about the pause as a possibility of helping us become more aware. I also talk about the number one thing we can do, and that is to practice the art of meditation, where we bring our focus to nothingness. That's the goal. We never really get there for a very long period of time, but we start controlling where the mind puts its attention. And when we realize that it's the ego playing games, it's the ego having fun, it's the ego creating, we understand that we have the ability to step outside the ego. Here's a tip if it's the ego. If you want to be right, rest assured, that's the ego. Anytime you want to be right, that's the ego. Anytime you want to defend yourself, that's the ego. That's part of becoming the process of becoming more aware. Are you aware enough to realize that when you want to be right, that's the ego talking? That's not love. Love is acceptance. And that's something that I teach all the time. And the more I teach it, the more I realize people don't get it yet. That when you say, I love you to someone, what you're really saying to them is, I accept you. Not I accept part of you. I accept all of you. What I perceive is great. What I perceive is not great. I accept you. Now, when I say I accept, doesn't mean I have to like you. But I accept this is who you are. You're unique, whole, and perfect. This is who you are. I can say I accept you. Love has nothing to do with romance. Can you get that out of your head? You know what has to do with romance? Lust. It's that inner desire of the reptilian brain that wants to procreate, and it creates this illusion of this magnificent attraction, and we can't wait. We see someone that just lights us up. I love them. No, you lust them. I'm not saying it's wrong. Lust isn't bad if you've got it under control, if you're aware enough to keep it under control. I don't know how aware you are. I don't think I know how aware I am at all times. Like right now, I'm talking. I'm aware that I'm talking. I'm not aware all the time about what I'm saying. Sometimes stuff is coming out of me and I say, where did that come from? And I realize there's a higher mind in me. I also realize there's a lower mind in me. See, we always have both sides. And to deny that we have one side or the other is an act of judgment. That is not an act of love. An act of love would be to accept that I, Lee Wallach, have both sides. Sometimes I'm kind. Sometimes I'm not. Sometimes I'm direct. Sometimes I'm wishy-washy. We all have every quality in the world. Dr. John D. Martini says there are 4,628 human traits, and everyone has all of them. The question is, which ones are you giving attention to? Which ones are you allowing to control your life? Only you can discern that. I try to come out of the state of judgment. I try to see everything from a bigger perspective. And I know that you're jumping on me. Some of you say, Lee, you said you try. You can't try. You either do it or you don't. Let me say this. I am doing my best to come from a perspective of seeing all sides. I'm doing my best. Sometimes I succeed and sometimes I fail. It's just how I am. I think it's just how we all are. And you see, if I can embrace that about me, I'm embracing an honest opinion. I'm being authentic with myself. And when you're authentic, that's when you can love yourself. When you're authentic, that's when you can let others love you. If you're not authentic, if you're putting on a persona, guess what? You've got a persona and they can't love you because they can't accept you for who you are because you're not showing them. You got to show people who you are for them to accept you. What did I say in class the other day? I said to the ladies in the class the other day, some of you may find this, Lee, you're going off the edge here. I don't care. I said, ladies, here's something I would say to you. If you wear makeup because it makes you feel good, not because you care about what someone else thinks about how you look. Ponder that for a little bit. If you wear makeup because it makes you feel good, not that you're trying to impress someone else. See why my motive for saying that is do what's authentically good for you that you believe is right for you. I have no judgment on makeup, none whatsoever. I think that's an individual's perspective that they can choose whatever they want there. But make sure that your motive is for you, that you feel good, not that you're trying to please someone. Please stop trying to please people. When you do that, what you're doing, when you're saying, I want to please you, what you're saying is, I'm putting you on a pedestal. I think of myself as less than you, so I'm elevating you, and I'm going to really get this on. What did Nikki say? Nikki says, I tried to put on makeup a few months ago. Epic fail. Eyes didn't match, took it off, and back to authentic face. So for Nikki, guess what? Nikki wants an authentic face, whatever that is. And then Sandra Lynn says, sometimes I want to impress a person. I know, we do that. Stop it. Just stop it. That's the Bob Newhart thing. Go look up on Bob Newhart, the thing where he says, stop it. He's a psychologist. You pay him $5 for 5 minutes. At the end of it, he goes, stop it. And the woman says, I need more time. He says, okay. She gives him another $1 for another minute. And she tells him, no, he said, stop it. That's all you need to know is if you're doing something that's not cool, just stop it and do something else. From a spiritual perspective, if you're feeling something negative, turn away from the negative 180 degrees and affirm that. That will change your experience. But if you keep your focus on what's making you upset, you're going to remain upset. Just like that. Where you put your attention is what you experience. Every great avatar will tell you that. This is not something new that I'm doing. Sandra Lynn says she likes to flirt. Sandra Lynn is like a spider. She's trying to draw someone into her web. People, be careful if you live around Sandra Lynn. I think Sandra Lynn's in Kentucky. If you're anywhere near Kentucky, be aware because there's a woman who's trying to draw you into her web. Well, with that, I've had a ball talking to you today. I hope you have too. So I'll continue this again tomorrow. Every day, I sit back and I share with you about 5 to 10 minutes of what's on my mind. Also, if you want to join me for meditation at 7 a.m., I do it every day. We're on Zoom. Go to agapespiritualcenter.com. Click on the calendar. Get the Zoom link. Renee says, I was in search of knowledge of science of mind studies and was led to your channel. So grateful. I love and appreciate your transparency. Well, thank you. I'm being authentic with you, Renee. That's all I'm doing. And there's my sweet Burgundy. Burgundy, good to see you, sweetie. Say hello to your family and your mom and all that. Hey, if no one says this to you today, know that I will. I love you and I accept you just like you are. Go create your perfect day. Until tomorrow, aloha.